Righto, so my close friends will be able to tell you that I've been saying I'm going to do the Canopy Fitout soon, I'm going to do the Canopy Fitout soon. That's been about a year or two, and well, today's the day. I've got 2 sheets of ply, I've got some old 90 by 35 from the house renos that are going on, because why not, may as well recycle it. I basically went and spent about $500 at Bunnings and got a lot of stuff because, well, I can't work for 2 weeks at the moment. We're currently in lockdown in New South Wales and all trades and construction sites are closed. So we are constructing the canopy. Righto, so I have done a coat of paint over the 90 by 35s already. I'm trying to do that because they're H2 not H3, so I've got to protect them from a bit of moisture. And then in the canopy, this is something that I don't think anyone has ever done because it's completely stupid, but I have decided to do it to give it a bit of a test. The issue I was having with this canopy, it's super cheap and just a rubbish canopy, to be honest with you. I hope to only have this for a year or two. That's why I'm kind of cutting corners and using recycled wood instead of going out buying brand new H3. The issues I've been having is this thing leaks like a sieve. So I've done new seals on the doors. I've siliconed basically the whole corners, everything of the entire canopy, and I was still getting leaks through these plates I put in. I had to put these plates down here because these welds kept breaking with four-wheel driving and stuff. Pat welded them up for me again and then I plated them. Now my issue was they were leaking through those bolt holes somehow, but anyway, long story short, I decided to waterproof the entire inside, the base of the canopy. So if anyone's in the construction industry, you know that you waterproof bathrooms. You basically paint on this waterproofing and it creates a membrane that's just totally waterproof. First step, I put an acid etch aluminium primer down because I know nothing sticks to aluminium, as we found from the Raptor video. So I tried to give it its best chance. I cleaned it up, I done an acid etch primer, and then I whacked down the waterproofing. I done 3 coats of waterproofing. You don't even do that in bathrooms, so I really lathered this crap on. And then it was quite stinky, so we just gave it a coat of paint over the top just to mask the smell, I guess. I'd rather smell like paint than really bad waterproofing. So that's completely done. I've done the whole entire base, as you can see. Those timbers, they'll be going in there, and then if there's any water that gets in, hopefully they will last a little bit longer because they're painted and treated. I don't have any drawings or anything of what I'm going to be doing. It's kind of all up in here. It's a very rough sketch, so I'm pretty much making it up as I go along, and you guys will probably see that anyway. I'm starting with just doing the floor. I don't have any cables or anything for 12 volt or the fridge or anything like that, but I'm going to prepare for the fridge I'm going to buy. So we're going to start with the floor, and then we'll work up the walls. I might not sheet them yet just because of that 12 volt issue. But anyway, let's have some fun. Righto guys, I'm calling it a night. 5:30, starting to get a bit dark, so I can't really see what I'm doing and I can't really show you guys either. We've got both of the, I guess, floor frames done. So this is the fridge side, that's why it's got so many timbers going on there. That's ready to go in tomorrow. I'm going to give it a coat of paint before I pack up. And then it's a bit hard to see, but it's got the other side in as well, and the battery and thingo box there, air compressor. And that's all ready as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a couple of days, I think, and we'll get cracking on the floor. Good morning guys. It's nice and cold and windy, so you guys are in the canopy at the moment. Today we're going to be tackling the rest of the floor. So as you can see, it's empty at the moment. The frame is inside the shed, and then we're gonna whack it down, sort out the ply, and then start working on the wall, I guess. But anyway, let's get stuck into it. Righto, floor is down and gluing, I guess, Sikaflex. So I've put a bead of Sikaflex under all the frames, and then I just ran some bugles through it. I've got a couple of screws down in here to hold that down, and yeah. So this is all one piece now. It should stay nice and we can get started on the walls now. Well, good morning again. Might be a bit confusing for you that it keeps jumping around days, but I have been doing other things in between this, so I haven't been taking this long, I promise. The last clip you would have seen, I was putting the wall battens up. They're all up. I gave them a paint. It's ready to go with the plywood now, so I'm going to start on the walls. I'm going to have them come all the way down to the floor because the floor panels will be removable, so I can hide spare parts and things that I never use really underneath. Just trying to maximize storage as best I can. Let's get started on drawing up these walls, figure out the size I need, and then I might go pinch my dad's track saw to get all this plywood cut up. Righto, well, lunch is done, and these things were absolutely horrible to do. I hate carpeting now. It's definitely not fun, and I definitely should have got another can of this. I'm almost out and I've done 2 panels, so that's a problem. Fingers crossed I can find some in the shed. But anyway, these are done. And another thing I stuffed up on is in the back of the canopy, I have this vent up there. Now I wanted to be able to use it, I suppose, and because I'm covering it with the wall, I had this black mesh stuff that I pinched from work. I was hoping to use that to have as a bit of an air vent to stop things going through it and still be able to pass air through it, obviously. I didn't cut a hole and I've carpeted it and blocked it all off now, so now I've got to try and figure out how to cut all this carpet back, cut the plywood, and then fold the carpet back over. Fingers crossed, I think, I hope. Hey guys, welcome back again. It's been a couple of days. So we've got our walls completely done. Our grid up there that I cut in after the fact. Got my other wall done. Sorry it's a bit dark. And the floors as well. So they're all done as well. Got our fixed piece in the middle. And then these 4 panels all removed. They all just pull out. I've cut out my sections where the locks actually go. So I need to cut them out a little bit so that they can swing down. This is the box that I sorted out to enclose the compressor and battery. I put some more of that mesh stuff on the top to give it some air vents, and I've just like screwed that up from underneath with like these big plastic washer things that I found in the shed. And then I also have used some piano hinge, some matte black piano hinge along here, so that makes it all on a nice hinge. But for now, that's all sorted. All completely carpeted. I think I've done a pretty good job with the carpet. Like you can see that line. It looks a bit more prominent on camera, but in person it's a bit hard to see. So I'm pretty stoked on that actually. The other side didn't work out as well, so luckily this was the second side I tried. So I've painted some plywood that fits in between these 2 sections black. Just gave them a rattle can paint job, and I've just Sikaflexed them on there now. So they're just drying at the moment. And now I'm currently working on my 12-volt panel. So over here, this is that offcut piece that I had. I ripped it down a little bit shorter because I'm going to be running piano hinge here as well. And then obviously carpet, so I've got to allow about 6 to 8 mil for carpet. Then I think it was about 4 mil or so for the piano hinge. Got my DC-DC charger, fuse block. I'm going to have a SIG socket with a voltage meter. It's going to go here. And then I've also... It's not here at the moment, but I've got a 4-gang switch plate that will sit there, and it's got 4-gang black switch, so that'll sit on there like that. And then I'm also going to have a lock that goes on there to the door, so if you can imagine, that's what the switch panel is going to look like. Now I've got this spare room that eventually one day I might put, you know, a power point with an inverter And then I also need to run two circuit breakers to run the fridge and the air compressor, because the air compressor is 90 amps I believe, and I'm also using all automotive cable, so I could use cabling from work and buy it from the wholesaler, but I've heard that like your house electrical cable, because it's made of copper and it's a thicker gauge, it's not as flexible and it can't withstand, I guess, vibrations and corrugations as much as automotive cable can. So I've gone and bought some, I think it was 6 gauge for the main, so it's plenty, like it's an overkill, but I want to future-proof this thing, and that will run from the main battery to our DC charger to then run down to our auxiliary battery. So at the moment we're just cracking away with this switch panel. Obviously I am going to carpet it. So as you can see, I've drilled my hole for the DC. Then the carpet will just cover all that part, and now I've marked out all my holes for here. I'm going to have all single holes, so it'll look nice and clean. Drill it all out, get it prepped, ready to go, and then we can carpet it all and make it look schmick, and then fix everything back onto it and hinge it up. So I'm pretty stoked with it all, and I've only got a few more days to be doing this because I've got to go back to work next week, unfortunately. But anyway, we'll get all this done, and man, I'm keen to go camping.
Tomorrow for sure.
Well, I'm getting pretty good at this one video a day kind of thing. Again, it's another day, it's another morning. I've just quickly gave the canopy a clean out and vacuumed it and everything like that. I think I'm pretty much sorted. I'm about 90% of the way in, I guess, the fix out stage. So let's take a quick look. Righto, so you guys saw all this the other day. Obviously the whole thing is carpeted and panelled, removable panels, which the 80% is because I'm going to be carpeting in there, just because if I have spare parts in there or tools or whatever, I don't really want them rubbing around on the aluminium and scratching nuts, waterproofing up, and also just damaging the aluminium. So carpeting in there will be next. I have also finished all this here, so we have carpeted the 12-volt panel. I've got it hinged up and everything, piano hinge as well. And then I've also got a little lock here on top that just bolts into the panel. There's just a hole drilled that stops this whole thing from moving. It also kind of takes any weight. If I put weight on here, that'll hold it, and it also stops the panel from moving up and down as like a third anchor. But if we open this up, I've got a cutout here and a saddle there. That is going to be for the compressor. So the compressor will sit in there. I'll give you guys I'll show you in a sec, but this compressor will sit in there, come out of that hole there, and then the lead will just poke down through there. So it's completely removable. Nothing's fixed in, nothing has to be removed by screws or anything. And then it'll sort of just hang. I'll be able to pull it out a little bit, click the extension hose onto it, and go around and pump up all the big boys. But this is the setup. So battery over there, compressor here, all the air vents, all the good stuff. If we unlock our panel, I've also got this latch up here which is a bit stronger, and I put it up here to kind of take any weight that might be counterlevering off that piano hinge. So this will not only pull it out, but it'll pull it up as well. So if I release that, then I've got a working hinge. So this is the back of our panel. Obviously nothing's wired up yet, that's just from the DC. I've already pre-drilled holes through there and then through the next batten as well to get to that far side for the switches and the fridge and stuff. So that I hopefully won't have to remove the big panel again. But this is behind. So I've already got all the holes drilled, ready for the cables of the fuse block, ready for the cables of that, and all that good stuff. So this is the passenger side. Obviously this will be where the fridge is, light switches here as well, Anderson plug for the fridge, and then maybe a USB and SIG socket as well. I'm going to leave the back bare. I think I might like hang an axe up there and like an umbrella. Then obviously I've got all my panels, which I'm going to use these gripper catches, the roller gripper catches, to hold these panels down because they are a bit loose fitting, so obviously they move around a little bit. I don't know what it was, but something went wrong. These panels are square, but these are definitely not. But in future there will probably be a drawer here anyway, so I'm not that fussed. Well guys, I think that's us. The fit out is completely finished. For now, anyway. Still got to do the electrical, obviously, but the carpentry and carpeting side of it is done. These are now on those latches, fully carpeted inside, ready for lots of tie rods to go in. Lots of CVs probably won't fit, but lots of tie rods and other things. More gripper catches on the front side here because this will always be removable, but the back section will be fixed down where the fridge is. So I decided to put them up the front so that I don't have to redo them later on. But that's us done. So before we finish up and get cracking onto the next thing, I have one more mod to do this canopy, and it's something that I tested out on the passenger side. It's the gas struts. So originally these gas struts up here were 320mm, and the other sides are also 320mm steel. The issue was they went way too high in comparison to the awning. If you can kind of see the doors, I don't know if you can, that one sits up a lot higher than the passenger side, like that. So that passenger side one, that awning still pulls out and just goes over it. Yes, it still hits the awning. So I'm going to be doing that to this driver's side as well. So I picked up myself another set of those gas struts. This is the new gas strut. It's 290mm. So it's like 40mm shorter, what did I say? 320, so it's 30mm shorter. And this helps it out a lot to make it, I don't know, nice and level, just a good height. And also these gas struts are getting a bit old. So I noticed as soon as I put this on, the door seemed to seal a lot better. And I forget the Newton meters or something. I think it was 500 Newton meters. I can't remember. You don't want to go too tight, otherwise it will shoot your door up. You don't want to go too soft, otherwise it won't be able to hold the weight. So there is a conversion rate, which I can't really remember at the moment. So we're going to swap them over. They're a straight swap. Basically, it's just unbolt and bolt in. So let's do these. Righto, that's all done now. They're up. Old ones are swapped out, so these ones can go in the bin. Not going to be using them. Now, I did run into a slight issue with this right side. It actually pushes it up further. So this is just another thing I keep going on about, this cheap crap canopy. But it slightly pushes up this corner a little bit more. So when it goes up, like it goes up like this, and then the left side stops there, and then the right side keeps going up a little bit. So it's not too bad. It's probably only 50mm, and it's not a massive issue. But it's just a bit annoying that it distorts it like that, because eventually it'll wear down all the piano hinge up there. That's why I'm guessing that's why it also doesn't seat very nice. With the angles of it, it sort of sticks out the slightest bit. But you know, I guess that's the things that happen when you have a cheap canopy. So next canopy will definitely not have any of this. It'll be perfect, and it'll have a beautiful tray to go with it. All that good stuff. But for now, this will do. It's a better height now. Not the tallest person, so when this car is parked on a bit of a hill, it's a bit of a jump to get to the door, especially for the missus as well. But anyway, that's this video done. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learnt a little bit from it all. I did expect it to take a lot quicker. I thought I'd have this all done in a weekend, but turns out carpeting and plywood and I guess carpentry skills take a long time when you don't know what you're doing. So especially when you don't have a plan. When you're just making up in your head, it takes double the time. Same as my bull bar. This is a make up as I went and measure as I go, because the canopy's not square, so it's a bit hard to do perfect drawings and get cut measurements and a cutting list basically. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to keep up to date with all the videos. We've got a few coming out soon, and obviously we need to cable this up soon, so there'll be another episode of this. But for now, I'm going to pack up all the tools and jack up the car, and then we'll be getting straight into the next mod. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.